See, what are we looking at here? Perfect. Yeah, it's working. All right. Hello, welcome to the stream, guys. I have been meaning to make more content, and I keep doubting myself, right? I keep seeing all these streams the next day. Like I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, man, this is probably gonna make a good video, I bet. And then I don't make it. And then the next day I log in and I see that everybody's making videos about the things that I was about to talk about, and then I never did. So I decided we're gonna stop doing that, and I'm just gonna start dropping videos. So dropping live streams, dropping videos. So I have very few subscribers right now. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Please like the video. It helps a lot. I'm trying to grow this channel. And from the looks of it, if I can stay on the current trend that I've been getting on, and obviously not producing content, but I should have been, then this might be your first stop on the information railway here on the coal train. This might be your first stop if you start coming here more often, because I gotta tell you, I'm getting pretty good at this. I've been, if you're into this kind of content, the stuff that I cover, I'm usually on it, like one of the first ones on it. And like I said, I have no video proof of this yet, but I'm gonna start doing this more often because I'm usually one of the first ones. I'm over here jacked in looking at things, and I'm seeing this and I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna make a video about this for sure. And then my favorite influences do more than 12 hours later. I could always, there's been a few times here where I could have been one of the first on it. So anyway, we're gonna get into that. I wanted to talk about Candace versus Laura Loomer. This is wild what's going on right now, and I was not going to talk about this as much. I was actually trying to find other things to talk about, but this is wild because I've seen all of Candace, not all of it, but a lot of Candace's videos, most of them. And like, for the most part, the woman's not crazy. She's not evil. She's normal. Low IQ. I'm sure you might have heard recently. She's definitely not low IQ. That's insane. Now, the part about her being uglier than Brigitte, obviously that's real talk. I mean, Brigitte is so fine, dude. Hold on. I got to bring this up because, just to show the comparison. I'm going to go look it up again just to show what a gem we're talking about here. Here, actually, I'm going to go on, we'll go over here. Brigitte Macron. Okay, and then we're going to go to images. All right. So this little hottie here is who we're talking about. And I mean, come on. As Trump said, it's not even close. So, everything else I think that you're hearing about Candace is a little extreme. The low IQ, the demonic and evil. I think that's way too far. There's obviously, I feel like there's allegedly an agenda there. People are saying things, but I mean, come on. Look at this. Look at this. Compared to this, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Look at that hottie there. Yeah. Trump's got a point when it comes to that. I think Trump's does have a point. Brigitte Macron is oh my God, the related searches are wild. We're not going to go into that. But anyway, everything else, little out of line. But I mean, obviously, this here is so much better looking than this. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? Okay. Anyway, just kidding, obviously. But here we are, Candace talking about the Laura Loomer stuff. I'm actually, hold on, we're going to go on X, and I'm just going to scroll. Bear with me. What you might see here might be a little wild because it's X, and I'm just going over this stuff live, so we might see some crazy stuff here. Let me make sure everything's in the shot before I start. Hold on. Boom. We're going to move this over just a tish. Boom. All right. I'm getting pretty good at this, guys. Not that I don't think anybody's watching, but anywho. Let's see. Laura Loomer is going viral after she defended herself against Candace, who was spreading conspiracy theories about Loomer. In response, Loomer released dozens of posts breaking down Owens' trust. And I mean dozens, guys. This has been the weekend. I think it was 48 hours, 27 posts. Like, it's a full-time job for this woman. She's going ham. Saying a bunch of craziness, like honestly a bunch of nothing. Most of it's fake and nonsense, but if you are not paying attention and you haven't actually watched Candace's material, then you might actually believe what this crazy person is saying. Like and I say crazy, I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean this is the one that like handcuffed herself to Twitter headquarters because they took her profile down. You know, she's been involuntarily put it in a you know, we'll call it a padded room type place, but it's, you know, it's obviously not. I don't know if it's that extreme or not, but either way, she was deemed unfit, unhealthy, and she had to be submitted to psychiatric care. So that's who we're talking about. And Candace is like, you know, a family lady. I mean, yeah, she does her podcast and all that, but she homeschools her kids every day. Like, this woman is highly involved with her family, pretty normal, you know, other than being the biggest podcaster in the world, but she's got a talent, man, and I'm glad she uses it for one. Anyway, but this is the type of person that's leading the campaign against Candace. And then of course you have all of the lower level trolls as well, but this one's the one that's right next to the big guy in the White House, and it's kind of crazy. Anyway, 27 posts, 48 hours. It's been ridiculous. In response, Loomer released dozens of posts breaking down Owens' trust, two houses that are worth millions that are located less than 3 miles from each other. Owens' entire legal team consists of Jews. I shouldn't be saying that, I don't think. But anyway, many voters are claiming Candace has met her match after the prolific commentator continued to just call Loomer names, which led to radio silence after Loomer continued to release documents, which is absolutely nonsense, actually. If you actually have been, or if you haven't been following along, which I'm assuming you're watching this, so you might not have been, Candace is under all of these. She's under almost all of these posts and directly refuting what Laura is saying. And they're pretending that she's not, like, and not only that, they're actually saying that Candace blocked Laura, which is impossible because you cannot comment on somebody's post if you block them. You can't comment on it. You can't see it unless it's been reposted and stuff like that. So obviously she didn't block, you know, and that's what they're saying. We're just going to keep scrolling, see what happens. What's this? Trump is not telling Megan. Federal government to spy on us via FISA. Anyone still supporting this man as a fraud? I mean, yeah, there's that, which he did flip the script. He actually posted in, I want to say 24, just absolutely furious about this very topic. And it was used against him, and he was just furious about it. I'm sure we'll run across that here. Let me keep scrolling. See, and obviously you have, you know, all these, like I said, a lot of people attacking Candace, still on the MAGA train, which, I mean, the way the man's flipped on almost everything is if you're still on the train, you're part of I don't know if I could say that word either. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure on the YouTube things. I don't want to get flagged or anything, but you know, you're part of a cult. Well, I'm just saying, if you're still, like, if you support the person more than the ideas that they you know ran with, and the promises they ran with, and they break all of those promises, and you still support them, that means you were never really for anything other than the person, which is weird. That's weird. If somebody completely flips the script and goes against everything that they promised, you would be you'd be a sheep. You're a sheep if you're following along like that, and you're just gonna flip as soon as they do on every issue. You're a sheep. You've been led to you're part of the flock. But anyway. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. We're just gonna keep scrolling here. That's also true. Someone tell me why Candace would respond to Laura after blocking her. Does that make any sense to you? And that's just another post saying, yeah, like you can't respond after blocking somebody. You can't respond to them. So the fact that she's just swinging back with every single post almost is proof that she's not blocked. So she's just making stuff up. It's crazy. Absolutely rabid obsession that Israel First has with Candace is really disturbing. And see, and that's actually what I'm trying to highlight here is the people. I probably shouldn't have said that name of that little place there in the Middle East. We're just going to call it that. That little place in the Middle East, little tiny itty bitty place. That is so very important, apparently. But anyway, yeah, this is it. This is more of it. Is 27 tweets in 48 hours. And it's just been nonstop. And like I said, it's mostly about stuff that Candace is just like, dude, this is public knowledge and it's not actually what it is. And we're going to go into that in the video that she does. This is going to be kind of a long stream. I'm going to try to break it up into different little sections if I can, but I'm gonna get into quite a few things because this is just wild. There's so much going on right now, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna talk to it. Maybe some of the folks on YouTube will wanna pay attention and follow along with me here. Loomer explains how it felt when they upped her dosage during her first involuntary psych hold, 5150. Her first, twice it happened. Jeepers, dude. These guys, the Babylon BB is a wild. They never miss, dude. Their memes and all of that. It's just the videos they put are just. It's crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely. I think Tucker is awesome. Oh, what does this guy have to say? As the state, the little place in the Middle East cherishes and upholds the juice values of tolerance and mutual respect between those people and worshippers of all faiths. All religions flourish in our land, and we view members of all faiths as equals in building our society and region. I'm just going to stop right there. I'm just because, come on, dude. If you've been paying attention, come on, dude. That's insane. Just outright lying. Just outright lying. That's crazy. And then here's Chank. Chank. He's over at the Young Turks. The Young Turks. I follow them as well. I follow people on the left and the right because I don't like to be uninformed. I don't like these people to be feeding me whatever they want. I like to stay informed and on both sides to try to, anyway. You have nothing but contempt for other people's religions. That's why you bombed in Gaza. You're currently murdering. Wow. He just goes off on him. Yeah. Because that's who you rob in America to pay for all your wars. Wow. Yeah. See, I mean, that guy rarely holds back. He's definitely definitely not a fan of this guy for sure. But and then see this, where Candace's husband and Milo thing. There's a rumor going on about that. Obviously, Candace has refuted it, and she's claiming the images are AI. And I mean, who knows? Who knows with that? But I mean, I gotta side with Candace. Like I said, she hasn't been locked up in a psych ward twice, so I'm gonna have to go with her. She can still legally, buy a firearm. um, and there we go. Here's one of those where they call her Jigsaw. That's so crazy. That is so crazy. um, but yeah, saying she's blocked, but she's responding to her right there, replying to Laura Loomer. You cannot respond if you're blocked. And here she is. You aren't blocked. Your other account is blocked. You can't pretend I blocked you. I'm right here. And she still made multiple posts after that talking about she's blocked. What are we talking about? It's like beating your head against a brick wall, man. It's useless. But I'm honestly proud of Candace, man. The way, because she gets attacked, dude, by droves of, I call them bots. I mean, what else can you call them? They're programmed responses, basically. So they're bots, and she just gets attacked, dude, by waves, armies of them, and she just stands up like, she's not afraid. She's not afraid of anything. Dude, Candace is incredible. Because these people, man, are like vicious. And here we, the crazy eyes, the poor lady can't handle it. She cannot hide them, unfortunately. Anyway, that's a lot of what's going on X, and just a wild place. Just a wild place. Anyway, we're going to get here to Candace's response. Like I said, I was going to do something about this yesterday, but since I didn't, I'm going to, we'll do both. I'll do what was happening and Candace's response. Let's get into it.
I am dying fast, so I got to get my affairs in order. Two tweets from the leader of the free world about...
Let me start it from the beginning.
Friday,
here.
And then Trump begins tweeting me again. On this time. All right, you guys, happy Monday. A super happy Monday, actually, because I'm out of my boot finally. I'm free. And of course, we go off air on Friday, and then Trump begins tweeting me again from Air Force One this time. I honestly am not quite sure what triggered his little meltdown, but apparently he says, I am dying fast. So I got to get my affairs in order. 2 tweets from the leader of the free world about how I am a nobody. I think that's 4 tweets in total. I feel like maybe the opposite might be true. But first, we have exclusive audio of Tyler Robinson's grandfather, the original owner of the rifle that was found after Charlie Kirk was killed, the one that the bomb dogs couldn't detect because their noses malfunctioned that day, the one that the feds led the police off.
This is where she's talking about the case, the Tyler Robinson case, Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter. And they really, like, the way they throw all that together, and they basically, they're saying that the family turned him in and are trying to help the case as much as possible, and then Candace drops this. So it's just, she's so many lies and inconsistencies in that case, and the full story, and Erica Kirk's background, and all this stuff coming together is just so weird. It's so weird. And people like Laura Loomer are doing their best to convince you that Candace is just crazy and demonic and evil and all this nonsense, and going to be spreading all this misinformation and just straight up, what's the word for it? Slander. It's just slander, nonsense. It's crazy. And trying to basically make Candace out to look like she's crazy, so nobody pays attention to what she's saying. Is exactly what's going on. That's exactly what they want. They want you to think Candace is nuts. So there's no reason to watch her or believe anything that she says. And you can almost guarantee if that's what's going on, if people at the top are trying to throw you, there's a good chance that you should be paying attention to that. So
officers too, the rookie police officers too, after the dogs had already searched that particular area. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting to hear what Grandpa thinks?
Oh man, it looks like we went down for a second. Hopefully it's back. I'm not sure how long it went down for. Bummer. All right. I'm going to start it up again. We'll see.
Does he think Tyler Robinson is guilty? Do you think Tyler Robinson is guilty? Let's find out. Welcome back to Candace. I'm out of my boot, finally. I'm free. And of course, we go off air on Friday, and then Trump allowed me to vent about it for a little bit. I was pretty fired up. Anyway, first things first, a sleuth contacted me from the courthouse of a Tyler Robinson hearing. They were able to record Tyler Robinson's grandfather while he was having a conversation with the reporter, Elizabeth Lane. Now, out of courtesy, I did alert Elizabeth Lane that I was sent this and that I was in possession of the recording and that I intended to use it. She said that she had already sort of spoken about her conversation with him, so I think we are in the all clear here, but apparently there was a break during the hearing and someone was lingering behind Tyler's grandfather and a group of people as he spoke to Elizabeth. And what he has to say is quite interesting. And foremost, before we play it, I want to just say that
before we play the audio, I want to highlight something because this is incredible. So that Candace is doing that I actually talked about in a previous video, but the network of people that she has contacting her, these are everyday people everywhere, all over the world. So like she has people all over the world from every walk of life. She has lawyers, military members, all kinds of people just from every walk of life looking into this, helping her with this investigation. It's incredible. It's incredible. There's never been an investigation like this where you have Candace, the leader, leading legions of people from every walk of life helping her with this investigation. We're talking the mom sleuths, she calls them, and these are just the ladies that watch all the time, stay at home watching videos and doing their research. And then she's got, the ballistics guys, she has the lawyers, the doctors, the nurses, people in from every field constantly feeding her information. And this is just another one. This is just, somebody was probably just like, this could be big, this could be something. And so they recorded it, and here it is on the Candace show. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, this is why they can't stop her, is because not only is she working diligently to make sure that she gets her facts straight and stuff like that, she has an army of people helping her out as well. And it's something like it's never really been seen before. You have literally thousands of people, millions of people working on a case where, like I said, that has never happened before. That's a new thing. So here, this is more. They play the audio
should interest you. Right? Because we have been told by many liars on the internet that Tyler Robinson's family does not support him. To the contrary, they turned him in, remember? They recognized Grandpa's gun on the news. Dad or mom recognized Grandpa's gun on the news, which is weird because the news did not actually release a photo of Grandpa's gun. They just released a photo of something similar. Anyways, the story goes, according to the liars, that they then convinced him to turn himself in. They think their son's guilty. They're going to testify against him. Now, I have told you from the very beginning that that is simply not true, that his father does not believe that he did it. His grandmother has spoken to journalists, and she said that she does not believe that he did it. Rather, and also I should say, Sheriff Brooksby did admit that
his father, his grandmother, and now his grandfather's been heard saying that he doesn't believe he did it either.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way, sort of a situation. He and his family were told that they were going to make an arrest either way. And if he didn't want the SWAT team or whoever it is that comes in to bang down the door and hold him hold a weapon to his face and put his parents at risk, then he better do things the easy way. Like I said, the question here is, what does his grandfather think? Because he knows that gun. It's his gun, right? It's a family heirloom. It is his gun, or was his gun, before it was passed down to Tyler Robinson. So he knows that weapon better than anyone. Let's take a listen. And of course, I'm accounting for sound. We've tried to use AI, bring the voices up and get rid of the background sound. Here's what his grandfather had to say briefly at the hearing.
Someone have a stash of savings.
Oh, they did? Like credit food or?
Snacks.
Yeah. What are you guys for Tyler? What are you for Tyler or the other side?
Grandparents.
Oh, your grandparents? Oh,
I'm really sorry you're going through this.
yeah, it's tough for you guys.
Yeah, it sucks. But we're here to support. So.
Yeah.
We're here to support.
It is absolutely framed, but I'm an investigative
I think he's being framed. He does too.
Man, you know, your guns, like, I can tell you that you're very right. That's why, yeah.
And my dad was a cop for years.
Yeah.
We showed him all of this.
Yeah, of course, but.
Well, hold up. Hold up. Granddad says that he is here to support. He's here to support his grandson. It sounds like he is of the same opinion as Tyler Robinson's grandmother, that he did not do this, that he was not capable of doing this. And for clarity, Grandpa asserts that he himself is a hunter, right? He also says that his father, so that would be Tyler Robinson's great-grandfather, was a cop for a while in that town who taught him ballistics. And he says that that is not what a 30-06 would do. Now, that is evident to everyone. Everyone keeps focusing on, of course, our big reveal that the 30-06 did not go through. But the part that you're missing is it also did not cause any significant damage, okay? They had tried to, early on, people that were in the hospital, making phone calls to
This stuff right here, this is exactly why they're trying to make her seem crazy. Right here, this is what she's doing. Asking questions, real questions, things that actually make sense. If you're wondering, if you have been online and you've been seeing a massive, what seems to be effort, a coordinated effort to make this woman seem insane, this is why. It's because she's making people think, and they don't want you to think. You're not supposed to be thinking. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you crazy? Don't be thinking. Don't be thinking. What are you talking about? The people that think are evil and demonic. You can't be trusting those people. That's wild. That's crazy.
Various people and saying that Charlie's that basically he almost had no neck left. That was untrue. Those early phone calls that went out to various people, who I will not name because obviously I was in communication with many people that day, and we spoke on the phone. We were the ones that got phone calls from the hospital. Initially, they were telling people that Charlie basically had no neck left. That was a huge lie. Outside of the wound, Charlie was in very good shape. And yes, Granddad, that is not what a 30-06 would do. So we're looking at all the situation, everything that's happened coming into this now probable
Even
cause
Tyler
hearing,
Robinson's
which is supposed to happen
grandfather.
in May.
It's like, my gun would have done
which
more
they are now
damage than
meeting
what are
at
we
a
talking
hearing, as they did on
about?
Friday, to say, no, we are not ready to meet in May because we're not being given what we're asking for. So first, let's recap what a probable cause hearing is, right? That's important. It's important that you understand what a probable.
I'm going to move on from there. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that audio clip because that's crazy. That's the main suspect's grandfather saying like, no, this doesn't make any sense. We think he was framed. When the whole narrative behind like what they tried to tell us was that his family was like, he for sure did it. And we're going to turn him in and we want to help you bring him to justice. And then next thing you know, it's coming out slowly but surely. His entire family's like, nah, this isn't right. So at this point, it's the Fed slop that you were told that all his family is against him, blah, blah, blah. Or you're going to start listening to independent media sources like Candace and others. Baron Coleman, if you haven't seen Baron, fantastic. His breakdowns are incredible. He's an ex-lawyer. Awesome guy. and stuff like that. People, with backgrounds, educated people, or, as the president would call them, low IQ. And and you're going to start paying attention to these people because, I mean, come on, dude. The Fed slop is a lie. They've been proven lying so many times. So you almost have to branch out unless you really just want to be a sheep. You want to be part of the flock. That's really the only way that you're going to keep going with this nonsense. And how many times have we been fed just crazy stories that make no sense? The Vegas thing, I'm not even going to say what it was, but if you remember, there was a major event in Las Vegas that made absolutely no sense from a hotel room. There was a million holes in that story. Million. None of it's still, a lot of it's still unsolved. So there's so many things, man. Like the 9/11. Where I'm just gonna put that out there. So many unsolved questions and all that, and then for a long time there, they were actually calling you crazy if you asked any questions about it. Which brings me back to, if they're trying to call you crazy, they're trying to convince you that somebody's crazy. Candace, you should probably be paying attention to that person. It brings me back to that point.
Probable cause hearing is, and you will recall, you can go back in my older episode, you will recall that after my sit down with Erica, I dutifully reported to you all that when I asked Erica what evidence she had that had convinced her that Tyler Robinson had committed this crime, since she had been publicly representing that she was so confident that he was the guy. She was telling Barry Weiss, yes, 100%. My assumption was that Erica
cover. Oh no, I'm not in the timestamp version. I'm still in the live version. Oops.
Probable cause hearing. 30 pictures.
Hold on, let me refresh this because that'll give me the timestamps.
Always just common courtesy.
At least I hope.
Lawsuits, continuances are basically.
Oh my God!
You're this early on in a lawsuit.
Yeah, here we go. Timestamps. Okay. Erica's right to a speedy trial. Now, this is another thing that's really fishy about this is Erica wants a speedy trial. And of course, that's with what they call evidence that he did it. So basically, they're just trying to get him into the express lane into that place. And that's wild as well. There was one thing. Oh, right here, Laura Loomer. And now, like I said, this is the person leading the charge against Candace to make you think that she's insane, demonic, crazy, evil, blah blah blah.
Ow. But it makes you wonder who is actually drafting these messages, who even are Trump's advisors anymore. He used to be surrounded by sane and rational people. Now he is accusing people like me and Tucker and Megan of being irrelevant and mentally ill. Meanwhile, Laura Loomer claims she is his #1 advisor, and she speaks to him almost daily. And that right there might be the biggest clue as to why Trump is behaving like he is off the rails, right? It's kind of like you eventually just become the people that you spend your most time with and you spend your most time speaking to, right? You become an average. And so Charlie Kirk President Trump went from Charlie Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk had his ear to Laura Loomer. And I think you guys need to more fully grasp not just who Laura Loomer is, but what Laura Loomer is, okay?
Charlie Kirk to Laura Loomer. That's been the transition here. I know she just said that, but I had to stop and highlight that because that's to go from Charlie Kirk to Laura Loomer in your closest circle that's a bummer, don't you think? I would think anyway.
I met Laura Loomer years ago. I was on the way to do one of my first events, the David Horowitz Center, and we happened to be on the same plane. She was crying because Twitter had removed her check mark. This was back when Jack Dorsey had it. since we live nearby, I was friendly with her, never had an issue with her because I just don't see a reason to start with people and have issues with people. There are tons of crazy people. And yeah, I felt very sad for her too, because she was sort of living in a rented basement in Westchester by herself, and she didn't have any friends that could take her to go get her wisdom teeth out. And she asked me if I could pick her up, right? And I never shared that story because I felt sad for her. Like, she had no friends and no family in her life that could pick her up after a procedure that she needed to get done. And I did that, right? And don't worry, because her differing opinion on Israel is going to be the reason that she starts attacking me. Now, the first thing that you should know about Laura Loomer is that when people say Laura Loomer is crazy, they're not being funny, right?
Keep in mind, Candace helped this lady out before. When she was having a really tough time, apparently, she's crying, has no friends, no family, and Candace helped her out. That's huge. I would think if somebody helped me out in that situation, if I was in the same situation, that would be huge. I could never do this. This is wild. So, yeah, Candace helped her out, gave her a ride, and helped her out when in the time that she needed her to. And here we are.
Laura Loomer is genuinely crazy. We're going to get into that. She's not even Jewish. Her entire identity as being a feisty Jewess is something that she made up around 2019. She told me that she was not Jewish. She told multiple people that she is not Jewish. Her mother is a woman named Joanne Singe. Laura is Irish and English. Obviously, Judaism is matrilineal. She was not raised in temple. She was not bat mitzvah. She just decided that it was politically expedient to pretend that she was Jewish. She only learned how to draw a Star of David a couple of years ago when she was running for Congress. Okay, here's a clip of her learning to draw a Star of David a couple of years ago. This is your number one Zionist on X. Look at this clip.
All right, there we go.
Very
years
good.
ago, learning how to draw her new religion symbol.
Don't take photos of this. I don't want people know.
Data everywhere, and not an insight to see. It's overwhelming. Customer usage stats, dashboard data.
The second thing that you should know is that Laura Loomer has a real mental disorder. Like I said, people, this person's crazy. She's mentally ill, right? Trump says this. No, Laura is actually forbidden to own weapons. She cannot buy weapons. She cannot own them because she was placed on 2 involuntary psychiatric holds by her own father, who allegedly is very fearful of her. Because she has had multiple suicide attempts. She attempted recently to file an appeal with the FBI to reverse the banning on her owning weapons, and they declined to remove it, citing the fact that she had been involuntarily placed on psychiatric holds. Now, according to her former campaign manager, Milo Yiannopoulos, who she has never sued, and simply...
Listen, we all have problems, right? We all have issues sometimes that need help and whatever. So we're not trying to make fun of people that need help. That's not a thing here. I'm a very humble and human person myself. I've always had issues. We all do. So we're not making fun of people with issues. That is not what's going on here. But what we are going to say is that maybe somebody with those issues shouldn't be in the president's ear all day, every day. Maybe that might not be a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong. Those people, they have issues where they're humans. We all have issues. But if you're going to have somebody in close proximity to the most powerful man in the world and constantly being like as an advisor type deal for this person, maybe we should pick somebody without those problems. I'm going to put that. Like I said, we're all human. We all have problems. That's okay. But we need to be dealing with those and not trying to, do what this lady's doing.
Blocks. He wrote and published a piece which should be read by everybody. And in that piece, he wrote this, quote, Laura Loomer has been diagnosed at various times and by various doctors as suffering from bipolar disorder, histrionic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. Loomer's mother, whom we are not naming today, is an alcoholic, a manic depressive, and suffers from bipolar disorder in common with her daughter. Loomer has two brothers. One is a violent schizophrenic who is permanently incarcerated in a psychiatric facility. He will never be released. The other also suffers from depression and mood disorders and has been in and out of institutions all his life. Okay. Man. End quote. Now, it's interesting that she's given access to the president of the United States. Everyone sees that this is a fatal attraction. In fact, I am told by people in Melania's circle that they believe, like, actually the most likely person to harm Donald Trump would be Laura Loomer. And yet this completely somehow evades the president. He allows her in his circle. The question is why? And it's not just that she lies. It's not just that she is bipolar. It's not just that she often says that she's going to commit suicide as a threat when she doesn't get what she wants. But Laura Loomer is also a malignant sexual predator and has been repeatedly accused since the beginning of her career of raping and sexually assaulting men. That is not a typical thing that men come out with, that men come out and say, a woman sexually assaulted me, right? Take, for example, Alan Jacoby. This happened just last week, 10 days ago. I'm
going to say this one time and then I'm going to let her go and we're going to talk about that again. But I was looking at these videos that she's about to bring up and start talking about yesterday. I was looking at them yesterday. I could have had this video out with these videos, already done, talked about them. Missed opportunity, but I'm going to start getting on that. I'm going to be better about that. Anyway, it's killing me because I could have talked about all this stuff before, all of my favorite influencers. And I think that would have been pretty cool, to be able to pull these trending topics and what's going to be talked about before they actually get talked about as they're really happening. I'm going to start doing that. Because I've seen this happen too many times already. I'm going to get jacked in and I'm going to start bringing these videos more frequently.
He's the founder of Patriot Cigar, and he just tweeted this 10 days ago. Laura Loomer is a sexual predator psychopath. I was, in fact, a victim of her wrath. Loomer and I spent the day with President Trump at Bedminster watching the golf tournament from the president's box. She asked me several times for a selfie. As you can see, that lean line does not lie. She constantly got uncomfortably close to me. She groped me in the parking lot, grabbing my crotch very aggressively and demanding that I come back to her New York City hotel room to engage in some vile, descriptive sexual activities. She's an absolute psychopath who preys on men. She's a menace to society. Again, there are just a long line of men who have come out with a story like this. If you don't believe him, here is a video, if it has been going viral many times, of Laura trying to seduce a young man who is clearly uncomfortable on camera. Mm-hmm. Take a look at this.
I noticed let it stop for a second again. All right, I think it's back. Sometimes my Wi-Fi goes out a little bit. I am in the garage, so I do apologize. But anyway, this is a video I was just talking about. This stuff right here is so cringe. This is horrible. Anyway, I'm going to play it. And I'm sure you'll agree. This is horrible. This is crazy.
Your hair and your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. You're Aryan too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
It's okay.
Because you're such a cutie.
Don't mess my hair. God, fix it. Fix my hair. Did you fix it?
I did. But like that picture you posted on Instagram recently when you got like reinstated on Facebook was so hot. Like, seriously.
That he wanted, you could tell, he wanted the interaction to be over right there. So for as long as this kid actually endures this, I respect him a little bit on it, because this is wild. I would have walked away. Like, yeah, my girlfriend anyway, later, I got to go talk to her. Something, I would have made an excuse, because this is crazy.
I appreciate it.
It's so good.
It's a good picture.
Your skin and the Nazis hate me.
It's fine.
The alt-right people want to put me in a gas chamber because they're obsessed with the Jews.
I think they're just memeing on you, but it's okay.
It's okay. I don't care. I love it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I know. They're just jealous because I have big tits and an Ashkenazi IQ.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. You got it.
Anyway, next time you're in New New York, let me know. We'll hang out. Bring your girlfriend to New York sometime, and we'll all hang out. We'll go to like really cool restaurants and hang out. And we'll have a blast.
Yes, I will bring my girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to meet. What's Becca?
Yeah.
My girlfriend.
Becca.
Yes.
So
She'll be there.
You remember?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, bring her
You'll meet
next
her.
to
You
me.
guys are so sweet.
Probably.
I hope it works out.
I might
because,
pick her up. And
like I said, I know it's all an act. Like I know everything you do on Twitter is like so fake and
hang
not
her
real.
over
But
me
like,
like
it's so sweet that you like and your girlfriend have been together for 3 years. I love
especially
it.
if I'm near this one.
So
It's
many.
all an act.
Do you know something? Like I'm gonna tell you a secret. Like do you know?
He's just gonna. He's like, yeah, no, we're gonna come to New York, and I'm gonna wear my girlfriend as a scarf. Right here. No, you can't hug me. I'm sorry because I have my girlfriend right here. She always she just travels with me like this. And I wear her as a scarf because she knows she's so sweet. My neck gets cold. My neck gets really cold, so she lets me drape her over my shoulders and carry her like this. So yeah, I'm sorry we can't hug today. I'm sorry that you can't put your arm around, this is how we walk around. This is our thing. So anyway, love you, baby. Gives her a kiss, and they just move on because
So
this
many
is
people in this
to
movement who
avoid
preach
this.
trad life are like people on the side and like cheating on their partners.
That's so bad.
Like they're not even like really trad life.
such
Like
scum.
like my ex is like dating somebody who's like super trad life, and she was like my boyfriend while we were dating and like ruined our relationship. And I act like it's okay, but like it's really sad because like I love when people like keep
Look at the way she's hanging on
really
him.
sad.
He just wants to be like, dude, get off me, bro. Get off me, big dog. What are you doing?
Set up in seconds and ready to go. Want to know
The
what
body language is just wild. dude.
Milo Yiannopoulos similarly described, and again, he published this, her repeated assault on a young Brazilian man who worked on her campaign. And he's not alleging here, okay? He claims that it is a fact that he can prove through many messages. Take a listen.
Laura Loomer, who's the most insane person, and I was, there was.
You're good friends with Laura too.
Well, no, I was not good friends with Laura. I was
we go.
loose allies with Laura until I met her.
Milo's wild.
And then
Milo's
when I
wild.
met her
If you don't
properly
know
and
who
spent
Milo
time with her, I
is.
realized she was absolutely
Crazy
mental.
person.
I distanced myself very quickly.
But genuine.
Well, I distanced myself
He
because
says what he means.
She used to force herself on young male volunteers, 20, 21-year-olds. And she would go in the middle of the night. And I mean, some men will find this to be quite tittillating, although...
Yeah, this sounds kind of good. What is
I'm going to leave it there because what's coming up is just more horrendous Laura Loomer stuff, which I hope you go watch this video and watch it and just hear for yourself from Milo what's going on. Like, watch the rest of Candace's video, man. This is kind of my point of making videos like this, is just to if you haven't already, start paying attention to this. This is something that you want to watch because, like I said, if they're trying to make you think she's demonic, evil, and all this stuff, and if you haven't watched very much Candace, like, and this is one of your first impressions from the stuff I've showed you, is that the vibe you're getting? Deep down, you know, that's not it. Something's going on. Now, there's a few different things that she talks about. Who knows what they're trying to distract from? But you can almost guarantee when you get this much flack, you are over the target. So that's what they keep saying. That's not from me. I keep seeing that online, and it's the truth. It's the truth. So, like I said, Laura Loomer, Candace, man, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, it's wild. It is wild, and I wasn't going to talk about it because I know there's a lot of guys doing this already, but my escapades on X here and seeing all of the voices to the contrary, like Laura, the nut job herself. God, that video is just cringe. Anyway, I wanted to bring some attention to this because this is the kind of stuff that's kind of blowing my mind because it's an obvious psyop. In my opinion, it's an obvious psyop. We're supposed to be being led in one direction, and it's not working on me. Hopefully it's not working on you. If it was working on you, hopefully it's not anymore after watching these videos and going through these things with me. But no, I'm going to end it there. Pray, guys. Just keep keep yourselves informed, and don't let these weirdos like Laura Loomer mislead you, man, because they're gonna have you looking crazy in the end, man. We don't want that. We don't want that. Anyway, love and peace, guys. I will see